A meeting just 6 days in the making.
Well, we weren't sure when we were going to do it, so I mean, just to be able to be here, I mean, even if we didn't meet him, it would be just an incredible experience.
But she did get to meet him. John Lester made good on his invitation.
Thanks for coming.
Well, thanks for having us.
Of course.
Well, I was really nervous, and I was like, okay, don't jumble your words, but I mean, he's a pretty cool guy.
And Lester's been in Ashlyn's shoes.
You look at her, and then as soon as she opens her mouth, you can tell she's a positive person. And just listening to her talk about what's next for her is kind of reminded me of how I handled the situation. It was, okay, this is what I have next, this is what I have to do. And you could tell that she is in a good state of mind. Saying that, I know it's not easy. But she seemed awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's amazing. They have a heart too, and they have heart for like everyone, and like especially people in like the same condition that they've been in. So it's like, I mean, it just shows how great people are, and it's really nice to hear and see.
The invitation came with one condition. John wanted Ashlyn's autograph, a memory for Clark, a keepsake for Lester.
It's in my locker. It'll stay there. I always have for whatever reason, I have a roll of tape that sits in my locker, and the ball's on that tape, and it'll sit there until I'm done. Perfect.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's awesome.
Lester's gesture just the latest in a string of support.
I never thought in a million years that out of what the disease that I had, like this would be the outcome, and that's what I would be able to do. So, I mean, I'm in awe.
We're all really on cloud nine and just feeling so grateful for everything about it. You know, if you have to take a bad experience and turn it into something positive, that's what she's done this whole entire time, but today was just icing on the top of the cake.
And as the fight continues, you need days like that.
Just to stand here on the grass to say I've been in Wrigley Field before it's crazy.
At Wrigley Field, Mark Freund, Channel 13 Sports.
Stop the Humboldt community from turning out in a big way tonight.
Photojournalist Sam Lozada takes us to Ashlyn Clark's Night at the Ballpark.
Seeing everyone and just all the faces, because it's like some people that I don't know the best will be here, so it'll be nice just to see all the support that's coming around from all the communities.
The softball team's way to give back to Ashlyn for everything she's done for us. And we just said it's going to be Ashlyn's Night at the Ballpark, so that's what we labeled it, and it just kind of took off from there.
Thank you.
It's overwhelming, and in a time like this where your heart's kind of broken, it helps put the pieces back together. My heart is exploding. Seeing the cars driving in the parking lot, seeing faces I haven't seen in a long time, friends, family, people driving a long ways to come and support. It's making this process a lot easier, and it definitely takes a little bit of the feeling of sadness away.
Let's see.
I'm gonna throw his underhand.
Oh, right over the heart of the plate. Half the knees, that's a strike. Thank you, Ashlyn.
Love you, kid. Enjoy your night. Okay, enjoy it.
The umpires.
What was that moment like for you?
Well, it's like as our relationship has grown through this whole entire thing, he's like a second dad to me, and you know, it's pretty indescribable as this moment is completely out here. It's amazing. Usually when everyone hears about cancer, everything's so sad and so like depressing, and it's like, I don't want my story to be like that, because not every story is. Like, I want to live my life to the fullest, even though I have this hurdle to jump over.
This gal is anything but depressing.
It's a day that's hard to forget.
In the bus barn?
Yeah.
Do you know who it was?
No, I don't. Kid had come running out and said somebody shot Ed Thomas.
Okay.
You know, I don't think that anyone ever forgets what happened. And, you know, they've worked hard to get where they're at today. And I don't think that ever slips their mind. Mine too. And
Jimmy Clark was preparing for his senior football season at Applington Parkersburg back in 2009 when his football coach, Ed Thomas, was shot and killed.
You know, we had that interception.
You know, you go through so much, and you can find out a lot about yourself after you do a lot of stuff, go through so much adversity. But Coach talked about that every day.
That adversity was witnessed 1 year earlier. Parkersburg was hit by an EF5 tornado. Coach Thomas was at the helm, rallying his community back together.
After that tornado, he kept saying, we got to dust ourselves off, get ourselves up and move forward, and that's truly no different than this. And the tough days, I just think about my 3 boys. I think about the 22 young people who were in that weight room that day that experienced that murder, and can also kind of think just what would my dad expect or want out of me, and I think that's how we keep going.
His son Aaron doesn't deny his dad was a competitor.
You guys on the ends bang!
Developing multiple NFL caliber players and a winning culture. But what he truly cared about was developing high character.
To him, it was all about making better young men, and he was so into that, and that's what really mattered. His success was truly based on what do these guys look like in 5-10 years when they become husbands, leaders in their community. That mattered more. The wins came with it, I think, just because of what the program stood for.
One of the men working to keep Coach Thomas's legacy alive, former player and now Falcons head football coach Alex Pollock.
Things are changing, but we're hoping that things aren't changing too much.
When he first took over the program in 2010, he had to lead players once coached by Thomas. Now his roster just knows the stories and sees the message he hoped to leave behind.
The values and stuff that Coach Thomas instilled in the program, in the school, in the community, we're hoping that we're continuing those today, even though it's been 10 years after his death.
All 3 of these former players are now a part of the plethora of men following in Thomas's footsteps, becoming coaches themselves, hoping to carry on all the things he taught them and inspiring their own student athletes.
A man of faith, a guy who loved his family, who impacted others, was passionate about what he did, who also really liked to coach football.
I mean, that's just what he stood for. I still wear this bracelet today, faith, family, football, and many people still do too, and that's truly what he stood for.
I'd like to think Ed would be really proud of who we are as a community and the type of people that we're trying to raise, the young people that we're trying to raise around here.
This should, be a testament as to what kind of a person he was.
One by one, strangers and congregation members alike filled the church, and one by one, heavy hearts gathered together in the St. Paul Lutheran Church's parking lot to remember a beloved leader in the community, Reverend Al Henderson.
I don't think there's a person in this town that he hasn't, impacted in one way or another.
Acquaintances and dear friends alike felt the impact he made on his community. And for family,
he's our grandfather.
It's an even more irreplaceable loss.
He had the best hugs. He was such an important person in my life, and I don't know what I would do without him. I cherished every moment I had with him, and I wish there would have been more of them. I wish there was more time with him.
More time for another sermon or another heart-to-heart.
For others, he was there when you needed help coping with certain things burdening your mind.
A man who will be remembered for his selflessness.
If he saw me on the street, with a flat tire, he would have stopped.
And a light in the lives of so many who will never forget him.
Call us, O Lord, to thine eternal peace.
I loved him so much, and I'm glad that everyone got to see his gift.
In Fort Dodge, Monica Madden, Channel 13 News.
It was a perfect day for football, but despite blue skies, a dark cloud hangs over Ames. The death of 22-year-old Cyclone Thalia Barquin Rosamina, allegedly murdered by 22-year-old Colin Richards.
It's really shaken us up quite a bit, but I think just seeing the community come together and everyone kind of work through it together and kind of talk about things has really helped.
Today served as a group healing of sorts and a way to memorialize Rosamina. The crowd wore yellow, her favorite color. Spanish flags flew high, a nod to her home country.
We feel like we're responsible for them. We want to welcome them in and to imagine what her family and parents are going through so far away. We just want to show that we definitely care, and that's really in a situation like this, that's all you can do.
There. All right.
The start of the game felt heavy. The players marched arm in arm to the sidelines instead of running out from the tunnel, her initials on the helmets of both teams and on the shirts in the crowd.
Just wearing her initials on my shirt makes it more personal, and to be able to support her anyway in her community is very important.
Please turn your attention to the video board.
Prior to kickoff, a video tribute played, honoring her role as an athlete and a Cyclone.
I'm very proud of being a Cyclone, and it makes me really happy.
As the video came to an end, not a word was spoken in Jack Trice. A moment of silence for a woman gone far too soon. In Ames, Ben Oldak.
You know the sound of a timeless sport, reminding you no matter your age or ability.
Okay, is it my turn? Yes.
You can still play.
We've never been on the same team together, so I think that makes it extra special.
Here at Valane's, Evie Sly and Joy Rector admit they may not be the best bowlers, but it's not the score they're too focused on.
It feels like I'm in a part of a group, and the group means that I could be a family with all the friends that I have. It makes me happy.
The pair are members of Roosevelt's unified bowling team, the first of its kind in the district where disabled and non-disabled students compete on the same team. The club sport is thanks to a $2,000 grant awarded to Joy and Evie after the two traveled overseas this spring as U.S. ambassadors with Special Olympics.
This is crazy. This is awesome.
The feeling of inclusiveness is just as important to those who have been left out as it is for the students who can help others fit in.
We're out here hanging out with new people, understanding that everybody has different abilities and that we all have our strengths and weaknesses. And I think it's important to recognize that because sometimes people are put in the shadows, and I'm sick of that.
Where are we from?
Roosevelt!
What do we want?
Inclusion!
What do we want?
Inclusion!
Unified bowling on three! 1, 2, 3!
Unified bowling!
Bowling is just an easy way to do that.
I feel awesome about it. Meeting new people a lot. Getting to meet a lot of friends. I want to make friends with them so I could actually hang out with them.
Hoping to strike a legacy of what it really means to be a team.
And we all want to be a part of a group. That's what we were going after in the first place, and I'm glad to hear that you feel that. We want that for everyone here. I'm proud. Are you proud?
Very proud.
In Des Moines, Jody Long, Channel 13 News.